So right now, we're headed to the theater.
Yeah.
Guess Michael's ready for it. I think it's gonna be a good play. Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess it's good.
How's the food?
Very nice.
How about you?
Nice.
Hasn't even tried it yet, but he's about to, and it's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be great.
Here's a montage that I put together of our trip to Niagara Falls. So the first intermission just finished and we experienced a pretty nice play, right?
Yeah.
So how'd you think about the costumes?
They're nice.
They're nice, yeah. And I like the way they used creative thinking to put the hat in the play, use some magical effects.
Yeah. They're nice.
Yeah, I know. So overall, what would you say this play is rated out of 10 so far?
Maybe 8.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
So how'd you think they could improve?
Maybe the snowy.
The snowing,
Yeah.
oh. I really like the snowing because it was a nice cool joke that they
Yeah,
added in.
yeah.
It was really funny, so overall I would say they get a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, it's fine.
The only thing that I could see them improving on is putting a bigger value in or a bigger moral. After seeing an amazing performance, A Christmas Carol, at the Royal George Theatre, I experienced a joyful play that taught me, as well as the rest of the audience, what Christmas is really about. The director, Tim Carroll, incorporated various elements that contributed to the message of the play. One element in the play production was design, or specifically the set. In the first scene of this play, the whole audience was surprised by the advent calendar that made up the background. It was so detailed and had opening doors on each day of the month that characters used very well. It allowed the characters to show levels throughout the play, but levels are just one aspect of their creative production. Scrooge's bed was a very creative moving prop that amazed me because it doubled as a bed, and when the walls opened out, it also became the front of Bob Cratchit's and Scrooge's nephew Fred's house. Not to mention, it was also used as shadow puppetry. They used shadow puppetry to show what Scrooge is like and where it will take him. Puppetry in general played a big part in the ghost scene. Alexis Milligan puppeted the arms of the ghosts to make it look like they were creeping and floating all over the place, and this was mainly because of the lighting. Kevin Lamotte was very skillful in his role of following the characters and ghosts with the precision and timing. Since it was usually dark in the scene, any small wrong movement with the spotlight can ruin the whole scene. But there were no mistakes made, and the lights followed even the fastest characters with attention to detail. I also found that the costumes played a huge impact. The characters had specific clothing that perfectly matched the Victorian era that they were in. The clothes also matched the person and their financial status, because most of the workers had clothes with stains and tears, and a lot of store owners had thick jackets and were dressed well. For the ghost itself, the director went above and beyond and created a huge figure covered in white clothing. Also, I found that the skull that represented the head of the ghost was very interesting. Skulls are meant to represent evil, and this ghost was based off Ebenezer himself, showing how he was once evil. I can also tell that the producer never cut corners, because although typical ghosts don't have arms, Tim Carroll added arms to this ghost and made these arms surround Scrooge. This effect gave the audience an image of the ghost closing in on Scrooge, making him want to change his life. Ebenezer Scrooge was a very miserable man, which contributed to now how himself as well as the rest of the characters deliver their lines. Although Scrooge was very serious and grumpy, especially when he was dealing with money, he was also very comedic at times, which was shown when he was throwing snow in the air randomly while he was outside. The other characters were very different from Scrooge because they were always joyful and happy. This made a major impact because it showed Scrooge how people are supposed to act during Christmas and why he himself should change. Now, aside from the set design and characters, special effects changed the play drastically. Music played a huge factor in building up the mood of the environment. In the beginning, 3 characters came to Scrooge's house and they started caroling. Caroling is a tradition that adds to the Christmas spirit. It's just one more factor that makes Scrooge change in the end of the movie. Music was also used to create dramatic effects, especially when the ghost made his appearance. It created an eerie and creepy environment that built up the ghostly effect. Another effect was audience participation. The producer used caroling a lot to create Christmas mood and invited the audience to participate. With a variety of 6 Christmas carols involving Christ our Lord, the producer definitely made a joyful atmosphere. Although this play is altered from the original play, I actually prefer this because the producer removed the extra scenes and focused on the central message. The only thing that I missed from the original play was the excessive use of the phrase "bah humbug." Although it was used a lot in the original, it gave Scrooge a firm personality. Nonetheless, the play was exceptional and it focused on who and what will really matter in the end. This play definitely underlined how we should all rediscover hope, love, and faith just like Scrooge did. It points our center of attention on the spirit of giving, which is why it was such a great play. Overall, I would give this play 9.5 out of 10. Its rating is based on the fact that they are moderately experienced actors and not Hollywood actors. The only critique that I have on the play was in the beginning. In the beginning, at Ebenezer Scrooge's house, the background is pushed up too close to the edge of the stage. This makes it very hard for props and characters to move up and down the stage. It almost feels like they're congested up there, but later opens up when they utilize the whole stage. Altogether, it was a wonderful Christmas play that highlighted Christian values and generous morals.